I'm Stan, CTO, and I'm here with Andy from TMT Insights. So just tell me about TMT.
Sure. So TMT Insights, we've been around about 6 years now. We started off as kind of a professional services software development company, specifically focused on media supply chain end-to-end from production to distribution. And over that course of time, as we were building out solutions for companies in kind of a custom way, we found that as much as everyone describes themselves as a snowflake, in reality, everyone has a lot of similar qualities. And so we've productized a lot of our services now to help companies accelerate their kind of go-to-market strategies.
You're 100% right about the snowflake aspect. You can't get away from that, and that's been an issue with the industry. So you now have TMT AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so TMT AI, we're really kind of looking at things from a little bit different perspective. There's obviously enormous amounts of AI going on. I don't think you can trip over anything here without seeing AI. We're very focused on the AI aspects about business process and business logic, as opposed to being more of all of the media-centric stuff. So we're not doing things like, creation of video and stuff. But since everything we do is around supply chain, it's about order management. It's about looking for duplicative functions. And so a lot of what we do is about invocating AI from a proactive perspective. Whereas, most of the AI interfaces today require a human to go in and ask for something. Ours is constantly scanning all of the workflows and opportunities that are running through our system and taking action on its own without having to wait for people to do it, because the sheer order of magnitude of things that we're running would still preclude people from knowing everything that they could possibly do. So we act in favor of that.
So do you consider this more like an AI business intelligence?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it, right? So in kind of the current world order, prior to AI, you would do a lot of data warehousing and reporting, and you'd still have teams of people pivoting data and building different data lakes around that in order to make decisions. And in doing so, you might still arrive at the information, but it would be delayed by hours and days as people were analyzing it. Now what we're doing is we're saying, as the activities are happening in real time, the AI is taking effect and actioning on that stuff. And then where it can't action it, it then reduces that to an exception handling process. So we have a lot of clients who are doing multi-millions of jobs at any given month. And so if you just left that to people, it would take them forever to sort through all of that stuff. The AI is actioning that for them.
Now, from my telco background years ago, we talked about self-healing, and I'm scanning through your stuff and you say it's self-healing. What does that mean?
What does that mean? So self-healing obviously has a lot of different meanings to different people. So in the world that we deal with, let's take an example of like localization. So there's, an enormous amount of content that's being subtitled or dubbed and all of those variants. But when you're taking in that much content, oftentimes things could be like a malformed XML. It could be missing events. You might have situations where maybe in an AI created closed caption, it missed a portion of dialogue. And so in an exception handling process that had existed before, we were simply flagging the fact that there was an error and somebody needed to act.
So you look at the as-run log, see a problem, and deal.
And so we're absolutely going in and we're taking the AI and we're submitting the elements to it and saying, analyze this, and if you can fix it without having to bother anyone, do so. And so it will correct for the missing components, restart the job, and kick it off. We'll still notify everyone that an action was taken so that there's no mistake as to what took place, but now we've further reduced the amount of triage that has to take place to get stuff out to air on time.
Got to say that is really cool. So besides that, what makes TMT AI different from all the other AI people out there?
So I don't know that it's just the AI itself that makes it different, as opposed to all the logic that we have in it. But what differentiates us as a business and our approach to go to market is, unlike regular SaaS models, where it's very much a hostage model, you put stuff into the cloud, but you're being hosted. We deploy in our clients' environments, still cloud-based. It allows people to go to a CapEx model, which is unique in the current world order. Everybody's been very much in an OpEx model. And as money and, the cost of money has changed, people are now looking for the original alternatives to that. Plus, we also give people source code. And so that is also kind of an antithesis to what people have done in the past. And we allow our clients to then build upon the code base that we have. And as vibe coding has become more prevalent, rather than starting from a ground zero, they can use our code base to then build upon. And we think that is a defensible position in the marketplace that differentiates us.
Well, I'll tell you, because we're into the buy versus build, but you're doing both. That is really neat.
That's exactly right. We want to be able to meet the customer wherever their desire is rather than force them to meet us.
Well, great chatting with you today.
Thank you, Stan. Really appreciate the time.